Hello, I'm Jonathan, and in this video we're going to be looking at using a DAW to record your song into the computer. What is a DAW, I hear you ask? That stands for Digital Audio Workstation, and in effect it's like having a studio on your computer. In the old days you would have gone to a big expensive studio, but these days we can get the same thing, maybe depending on how much money you want to spend on other stuff like microphones influences the quality, but we can get some good decent recordings at home using the DAW. So I'm going to be focusing on Cubase. This is Cubase 5, which I've had for many years and I'm very familiar with. And this is a project I've already started recording the guitar that you heard me, the chords you heard me working with last time. And a really important part of kit is this audio interface, and this translates the audio sound into digital so the computer can record it in digitally. And another important thing is to make sure you're clear where you're saving your project. So if I put save as, I can see it's in a folder called John. If I go up, that folder is in turn in Cubase Recordings, and that folder in turn is on my C drive, so that's fine. I don't need to save that now, but it's important to know where you've saved it to, otherwise you'll be hunting for it later. Okay, and then I need to check. I go to devices on this particular program, device setup, and make sure UMC, that's my Behringer sound, my audio interface. I want to make sure that that's selected. That's perfect. And then I go into VST connections and I make sure I know 1, 2, 3, 4 channels coming in, what they're assigned to, and that they're all going through the Behringer audio interface in and out. That's perfect. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to need to decide on is the text. So you'll add an audio track. So I'll go to Project, Add Track, Audio. I'll add another one so you can see. Mono, 1 track, yes. So I've already done that with this channel, and then I've got it muted, and what you need to do is work out the right tempo for the song you're recording. So I'm going to Project, and I'm going on Tempo Track, and as you can see here, I've clicked off the lock, and it's gone to, I've put it to 86, so I've tried a few different tempos to see which one really sits right with the song I'm trying to record. So I'm going to play that now, and I'm going to grab my guitar and just show you how. So here's the click, not the most pleasant sound in the world, and I'm going to, wrong key. So I can feel I'm rushing it a little bit, so I need to relax a bit. So there you go. That would, and it can take quite a while to learn to sort of play in time with a click. You can find yourself rushing or slowing down, but it's very good practice for later on if you're playing with other musicians. It's great practice for learning how to play in time. So I chose a tempo that worked for me, and then what I did was I recorded. I've got 3 chord patterns basically for this song, and I recorded them all in, and you want to get a sort of, I should say that I recorded using headphones. So what I did was I turned down the master output here and just had the sound going to headphones, and I had the headphones on and I played to the click. And the reason I had the headphones on is because otherwise you'd hear you'd hear the click basically very loudly, and it's not a pleasant sound. So I wanted to just get that guitar sound on its own, and I just did a rough. I didn't worry too much. I just considered this as a rough guitar track. So I positioned the mic facing about here, because if you face on the sound hole it can be too boomy, too much of the bass frequencies. So I focused about here, probably around between 6 and 8 inches away, and this was just a guide track, so I wasn't too worried about getting everything perfect. And then what I've got is, if I play you here and turn the click off, transport, metronome off, and then what it does is I've got it set to bars and beats here, and so everything lines up with the tempo track that we've selected. So if I just mute that first bit, then we've got like a nice... So what I've done here, I can cut. Say for example, if I wanted to get rid of that, I'll move it for now, and I can get a section that I'm happy with of the first chord sequence. You can see I've cut it in the wrong place, so I'll put that back together. You get to learn how to use these little tools here just by being familiar with the program. In fact, I'm going to undo glue, undo move, undo move, undo cut, undo, very useful. And now I'm going to make sure I've got at least a couple of runs through the chords to work with. And then I can just repeat that for as long as I want. So I'm going to get rid of that. I don't need that. This first loop's fine. And I'm going to repeat that a few times so I can try a vocal. And then what I've also done is I've recorded my other sections of the song. If you remember last time, I'd got slightly different chord sequences. Also in loops of 4 times through. And I've colour coordinated them so I don't get confused about which part's which. So I'm kind of working with this first part now, which I've colour coded green. And I'm going to show you how I would start doing a vocal take. So when you record vocals in a room, you'll get a lot of the sound of the room in, and most rooms seem to emphasize kind of mid frequencies, and they sound quite unpleasant when mixed with the voice. So if we go over to my microphone here, I've got a makeshift sort of baffle shield up behind, which is basically a blanket. You know, you've got to use what you've got. And ideally I'd have a blanket here as well behind, but I'm just kind of doing a sort of a quick version now of a sort of a guide vocal. I've got my microphone, which is a condenser microphone, which I've used for both the guitar and vocals. And the condenser mic is great for sort of voice and instruments in a recording situation rather than a live situation. This is my pop shield, which stops all the p and b, the plosives in when you say certain words that can create a big spike sort of in the sound. And then I've got it positioned, I'm going to be about between 6 and 8 inches away. Got it positioned nicely in line with my mouth. And then what I do is get my headphones and I would turn off the main audio out, so I've just got it coming to the headphone, and I'd sing to this track. So I'm going to play this. You're not going to hear it, you're just going to hear me singing. Okay, and that's, you know, have as many sort of tries at it until you sort of your voice has started to open up a little bit and you feel comfortable with it. But I just want to sort of show you the nuts and bolts of using the program. So now, if I put my main monitor out, volume up, this is what I've got. Here we go. So, you know, not the best vocal take in the world, but what I could do, I've done a little bit of process on the guitar. So what I've done to the guitar is panned it, which means where it is in a stereo field. So I've moved it a little bit across so the vocals will be in the middle. I've also, if I show you here, I've took some of the low frequencies off the guitar. It sounds quite boomy there. You can hear that boom, so I've just took them off there using the EQ. And I've got a compressor on, which evens out any inconsistencies in volume. And I'll do the same for the vocal. So I'll just quickly put on compressor. I'm going to leave it set as it is for now. I'm going to play the vocal, and what I'm going to do, which is very useful, is loop it. So this can kind of do your head in here in your own voice, looped again and again in a section. Oh, that's really loud. So now I've looped it, enables me to take the bass frequencies off. I'm doing this very quickly, and I might put a bit of reverb on. Okay, let's stop that loop. It's going to send us crazy. So there you can see, just with a little bit of compression, which evens out the signal peaks and lows, and a little bit of reverb, which creates a bit of space around the voice, already you can get it sounding more pleasing to the ear. And what I would do is continue to work on this, and also at the same time I can be arranging the song, because I'm not sure exactly which bit I want to go, where each part should go, how long each part will be. So because I've got these sections recorded as loops to start with, I can start arranging the song as well as working on the melodies. And then once I've got a form that I'm happy with, I'd start adding bass, drums, other harmonies, other vocals, other sounds, and start building it from there. So there's lots online about this particular DAW, Cubase, and other ones that you might want to use as well. I just wanted to sort of give you a few tips and sort of show you how to start working with it. So I hope that's been useful, and I'll be carrying on working on here on my song, and I hope you've got a DAW to carry on working on your song, and as ever, enjoy the process. Bye bye.